All right, well, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, hopefully the Most High in your house shall bless you all day. By His mercy, we are consumed, and we're alive in the Most High in your house shall bodied, and two, we're naturally alive, man. So yeah, I want to get into this, man, because you know what it is too. I want, because you know what it is too. We gonna get into this, man, because I was just watching, like, recently. I got the clip now, but you know what it is too. This saying, like, that like, quote unquote, I want to get into this, man. Quote unquote, standing on business, man. Like, cause you know what it is too. Always, like, I always, like, I asked my students this last year. Actually now, I always ask, like, our younger brothers, sisters, or people this, but I know especially with the younger generation, but because it's part of their slang, like, it's the slang of their era, things of that nature. But cause I always ask them, what do you mean by that? Cause I know what it means by that, setting your principles and your morals, what you believe, like, your code. But a lot of times too, people to say that just to say it though, cause you know what it is too. Like, because I asked a student one that, like, that I was like, sweetie, what you mean by when you stand on business? Like, what do you mean? And she said, I don't know, standing on business. That like 98% of them, they're going to say that. Like, they're going to say it. Or 95, it might be a small 5. It would be nice. Might be a small 5% that actually say, like, what it means, or they'll go into their definition about it, man. Because, it is too, because we're going to go into that, how actually, like, how righteous, how, like, this like these righteous men are, like, our forefathers, man, like, actually did stand on business. Because what it is too, I really recently watched, like, I recently finished, I'm on the last season now, rewatching The Wire, man. But I love about that show, man, like, majority of them, like, not all of them, because now, like, that makes that show brilliant, man, because all of them, whatever consequences, like, not all of them, but majority of those characters in the show, when they had to, like, when it was their fate, man, they stood on it. They stood on their fate, man. Like, when either they died or had to go to jail, or don't get twisted, because some of them told her try to find their way out, or don't get twisted, because that happens, like, that happens just in life. But what I love about that show is that all of them, like, majority of them did, like, all right, cool, you gonna kill me, just do it. Like, I'm going to jail, all right, hey, stand on it. Majority of them in those they didn't beg or please. Like, okay, yeah, I did that. No, the game is a game. This is what comes with it. So it is what it is. It kind of sounds similar, but to how, like, not similar in the same aspect, but similar to how the word is, man. Because I was watching, like, I finished up season 4, man, and if y'all ever seen, of course, seen The Wire, the Bodie's death, man, how he said, listen, no, man, he stood on his bed. He said, listen, man, no, man, this is my corner. I'm not giving it. I'm gonna die on what I believe in, die on what I, like, built on my principles here, man. Because remember the character Pooh told him to run, and he was like, and he was like, no, I'm not doing that, man. It kind of remind me of, yeah, like, I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit. Kind of remind me of, like, when the Pharisees said to Yahushua, man, yo, what you call him, Herod, if he sees you, he's going to kill you. And like, Yahushua said, all right, like, tell that fox, I'm going to be out here. And that goes into being in season, out season, man. That's not just going to how the weather changes, always preaching the word and giving out the word. No, it's going into, like, in season, out season, no matter what, no matter time, place, like, where, when, it doesn't matter. Like, just I'm going to do this, man. Just like the basketball player, I always say a story like Clyde Drexler, man. It was a story about how in his trunk he used to always carry a basketball, man, just in case anybody challenged him. Same thing with the word. That's why it says in season, out season. But that's neither here nor there, man. But I want to get this in Tobit too, because this lines up with the testimony of the gospel as well, man. Because, like, and we're gonna see the dichotomy and the balance, man. Because this is really standing on business, man, like the Lord's business, man, which we about to get. Actually, you know what? Let's grab that. No, we gonna wait. We gonna wait for that. You know what? Yeah, because this is when Tobit was there. Yeah, this is when Tobit was during the feast days and things, and this is when Tobit was pretty much burying when we was in Assyria, and constantly being killed in Syria, and our brothers had no burial. Our people had no burial, and Tobit was, like, by himself on the run from his government, from the king, the same king that was warring with King Hezekiah, with Sennacherib. He was on the run from the government, man, but he was still doing this, man, because that's really standing on the Lord's business, man. That's really what it is. He was standing on his principles. He's like, listen, I don't care. Because our people was mocking him, saying, like, but you know what it is, too? Let's grab it. Tobit, I will start verse, Tobit, chapter verse 2 and verse 6. It says, remember that the prophecy of Amos said, your feast shall be turned into mourning, and all your mirth shall into lamentation. Therefore I wept after going down of the sun, and I made a grave, and I buried him. So yeah, he seen one of his brothers, and one. This is how righteous, like this how like upright, like these men were, man. Because a lot of times too, when you read the scriptures, man, a lot of times too, when a lot of those men, they heard something, they heard the word or heard something that needed to be done, they immediately stopped. Just like the disciples, they immediately stopped, like Peter and them, they immediately stopped and followed Yahushua. When Tobit heard about these things, when he's about to eat down for the feast, he immediately stopped. He didn't even made no haste, and and he did what he was supposed to do, man. That's like David said, in Psalms, what was it, 116, I made haste to keep the Lord's commandments. He made haste to do something for the Most High Yahushua, to handle that business right there, man. So that's what it is. He said, therefore I wept, and after the sun going down, I went and made a grave, and I buried him. But my neighbors mocked me and said, this man is yet not afraid to be put to death for this matter, who fled away, and yet lo, he buried the dead again. Because yeah, they was looking for him too. But you know what it is too? But that's what it is. He didn't care about that, man. Because I'm still gonna do this. This is actually standing on business, not all this other nigga nonsense and stuff like that. And don't get it twisted, man. Like don't get it twisted, man. Because if that's somebody's principles and beliefs, though, as a man, naturally on a two-dimensional tip, on a natural tip, if listen, you gotta respect the man that dies for something that he believes in, or any person really, but I'll say really no, there's women too that die for things that they believe in, but like the woman in the Maccabees, man, one, she died she took it. They said she took it with the mind of a man, the belly of a man. But women for the most part, so some of them do, but mostly they're survivors by nature. So a lot of them there did not go and find a lot of women that would die for the cause. Well, there's a bunch of righteous sisters in this book in the word, like Susanna, the woman from the Maccabees. A lot of them that shoot, even the Egyptian, even in the Exodus, the women in Exodus as well, man. It's that faith is not a gender thing. Let me not say that. Even now, there's a bunch of sisters now that's very faithful and do that. I'm just saying in general, throughout history, that's just not the case, because women are survivalists by nature, man. But you will have women that do. I'm just saying on a two-dimensional, on a natural tip, man. They're not, because you have instances like Job's wife and things of that nature, or things. But it's not. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, man. But anyway, man, that's what it is. On a natural tip, I have to respect on somebody. Just anybody that dies for what they believe on, stand on that, man. I do. But honestly though, that's really what it is though, man. Because Tobit, he didn't care, man. He said, listen, let's read this again. Tobit chapter 2, verse 8. It says, the neighbors mocked me and said, this man is not yet afraid to be put to death for this matter, who fled away. Lo, he buried the dead again. So see, let's go to Luke real quick, man. Because this is what Yahushua, notice how Tobit was burying the dead, right? But Yahushua with the preaching of the word, he was resurrecting the dead, man. He was like, because Proverbs chapter 21:16 goes into those that without understanding, they're in the congregation of dead. What Yahushua, what's the gospel preaching of? Like Exodus 34:6, Numbers 14:8, Jeremiah 9:24, who the Most High Yahushua is. Let's get this John real quick, man. John chapter 1 verse 17, he says, for the law was given by Moses, and grace and truth came by Yahushua HaMashiach. So yeah, and that's what Yahushua was coming to do, man. That's what it is. Yeah, man. But he was didn't it say that he came to get the came to make the dead alive, man. Actually, yeah, man. That's what that Ezekiel 37 is, man. What you talking about, man? It's talking about the preaching of the gospel, man. That's what it is. But yeah, man. But that's the same dichotomy. So Tobit was he was burying the dead, but Yahushua was getting the dead, the spiritually dead. He's bringing them back to life, man. Spiritually, but now physically, man. Because doesn't that let's grab this. Just go back to John real quick, man. No, then we're gonna hit Ezekiel real quick. No, let's go hit Ezekiel real quick. Ezekiel chapter uh, um yeah, exactly. The breath of the exactly. Yep. Ezekiel. We'll get to the point. Ezekiel chapter 37 verse 5. Then go ahead, John. It says, and thus saith the Ezekiel 37:5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, that I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. So yeah, what's this? The same thing. That's him giving us power to be sons of God, taking back to the beginning, man, to place of pleasure, the kingdom, the Most High Yahushua, the Most High's kingdom, man, which is he's going to take back to Edom, be sons and daughters of him, man, the Most High Yahushua, man. That's what it is. Because his breath is the breath of life, the Holy Spirit, man. It says, and thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, I will cause the breath to enter into you, and ye shall live, man. So yeah, that's what Yahushua was doing. Like that, this is how, and and this is what he's doing, and it's what he did, and what he's doing now, and now this is why the whole important the preaching of the gospel is important, man. Like the witness, the testimony, how the Most High Yahshua comes to the bottom of the book, so you can believe on them as the scripture has said, man, the new covenant. So let's get John chapter 1 real quick. John chapter 1 verse 12. It says, but as many as received him, he gave them power to be sons of Yahweh, even to them that believe on his name. So yeah, so let's get this though. Luke chapter 13 and 31. He says, because this is the same thing. We're gonna read this again in Tobit. It says, the same day there came certain of the Pharisees, saying unto him, get thee out, depart hence, and for Herod will kill thee. Yeah, but here's here's the point. What Yahushua said. He said, it's so cold. He said, and he said unto him, go ye and tell that fox, behold, I will cast out devils, and I do cure this day and tomorrow, and then the third day I shall be perfected. Yeah, so exactly. So yeah, and that goes into his resurrection, man. Like that says what is the third day. But also too, man, pretty much your house. I said, listen, in season, out season, I'm gonna be out here, man. Like this what it is. Even though I'm gonna play the clip too. I'm gonna share it probably on the reel. We're gonna share it of Bodhi's death in that, because I think of that when I read this, man. He said, because remember the character Pooh told Bodhi run. He said, no, man, I ain't going nowhere. That's what pretty much Yahushua said. I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna listen. They gonna do what you do. So listen, I'm gonna keep out here preaching the word, curing, healing the, casting out these devils, healing the sick. Doing what, preaching the word, preaching the testimony, preaching his gospel, man. So. It just is what it is, man. But let's get this too in Toby real quick, because it's the same thing, man. That's why I go into that motif of the words that really, man, it's the same deal, man. Toby chapter 2 and verse 8. Yeah, because this is the same thing, man. It's how the Most High Yahushua comes in the volume of the book, man. Like it's just it's the same motif, man. It's just like different people doing the same shit, whether righteously or wickedly, man. It's the same recurrent theme. It says, but my neighbors mocked me and said, this man is not yet to be put this man is not yet afraid to be put to death for this matter, and who fled away, and yet lo, he beareth the dead again. So yeah, and you know what it is too, man, and that's what that's just it is what it is too, man. Hey man, so and this on a natural tip too as well. That's how our people always had this thing with Esau, like being what you call him of him too, because Herod was an Edomite, things in nature. Like we seen this during time of slavery. Like no man, because no, I'm not like scared of them. It is what it is. What's going to happen is going to happen, man. Like we seen this during the old slavery era. Oh yeah, they come in like master coming. So we always had that thing with that, man. But or any other thing, man. That's just neither here nor there. But yeah, man. But notice that. But of course, it'll be fitting for the Pharisees to say that, because one, the Pharisees was covetous. Don't you know the Pharisees laughed? Just like what? Same thing here. Like when the neighbors mocked Tobit. Don't you know when what you call him? when Yahushua said, "Listen, you can't serve the Most High Mammon," the Pharisees derided him. That means they laughed at him, and it makes sense because why? What does John 11 say? They had a high place in Rome, so it's like, and of course they would say that it's like, oh yeah, you better run, Corey, get you, of course, because they wasn't built like Yahushua was, because they was comfortable living in Rome, having the the high places. They had all the nice stuff probably, and pretty much like it is what it is, man. So it is what it is, man. So, but yeah, man, let's grab that too again. It says Luke chapter 13 verse 13 verse 32. I'm sorry. It says, and he said unto them, Go ye and tell that fox, behold, I will cast out devils, and cures to today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be perfected. So yeah, and also too, the reason why, like, Herod. Let's get this Lamentations right. Herod was called Fox, man, because what the fox are deceivers, man. That's why y'all grew up watching cartoons. They had Dora. The character of Swiper was what? Fox. Like, they used to say Swiper no swap, and he was deceiver. He was very cunning. Like, that's why Herod, like, was like that, because he wasn't he in Jerusalem during that time. But like, wasn't over Roman rulership, man. Let's get this too. Lamentations real quick. Yeah, Lamentations chapter 5 verse 18. The mountains of Zion, which is desolate. Lamentations chapter 5 verse 18. Because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, that the foxes walk upon it. So yeah, man, that's just is what it is right there. I remember seeing a reel of an actual fox outside Jerusalem, and somebody uses scripture and like saying that was a prophecy of that. I mean, it's cool, probably is, but I mean, on a natural tip, but this is really talking about deceivers, man. It's not only talking about Herod of the other nations, it's talking about like the Pharisees and the false prophets, like as well, man, the deceivers. That's why, like, just honestly, it's crazy because it's like, like Yahushua said and Ezekiel said, wolves in sheep's clothing, braver than wolves, like, because don't get and aren't wolves. And it's crazy that wolves and foxes are in the same canine family. Honestly, different, but they're in the canine family, I believe. But I could be wrong about that. But yeah, man, it's just crazy with that. Let's read this Lamentations chapter 5 and I wish I had the verse in Ezekiel when it says foxes about in Jerusalem, but yeah, pretty much deceivers, man. It's just not, it's not only talking about the other nations, it's talking about like, the false prophets, the ones that dealing with the word as well, man. Yeah, let's get this too. Lamentations chapter 5 verse 18 says, because the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. So yeah, man, that just is what it is right there, man. That's why Yahushua said in Mark 8 and 15, beware the leaven of the Pharisees and of Herod, man, because both of them are foxes, deceivers, wicked. So yeah, man. So it's not always like it's true. That's what he said in Jeremiah. I'm coming to rescue the circumcised and the uncircumcised. Well, I'm coming to I'm getting the those who aren't circumcised and who are circumcised spiritually, man. So he's coming for everybody, man. The Ram is coming back because at the end of the day, it's about the righteous and the wicked. Like, at the end of the day, man. That's why, like, it doesn't matter even what nation that you are. You better be born of this word. That's what it is. So, of course, like, and like, that there'll be a hierarchy, especially in Yahushua's kingdom, about like, that, of course, but listen, you just better be born of the word, like, because the promises do go to Israel, but as far as like me and being a son and daughter of the Most High Yahushua, no, that's just if you are of the word or not. So, but that's just is what it is. Let's grab Luke chapter 2 verse 49. Yeah, man, because this is really standing on business, honestly, man. Luke chapter 2 verse 49. It says, and he said unto him, how is it that ye sought me, and wist ye not that I must be about my Father's business? So yeah, man, that's really standing on business, honestly. That's what it is, honestly. Lord's business, the Most High Yahushua's business, man. Really, man. Like, this is the work, man. Because on the left hand side on the Kemetic Babylonian Mystery School system, they talk about the great work. No, this is the great work. This is the work, man, right here, man. This is the business right here, man. This is what it is. That's why let's get this in Romans chapter 10, Romans chapter 12 real quick, man. And now, of course, is this talking about naturally, like, your career, job, that business that you have? Yeah, of course, but naturally, but how much more for the Lord, man? Like, it says Romans chapter 12, verse 11. Be not slothful in business. Yeah, don't be a slothful servant. Be not slothful in business, but fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Yeah, so the Lord's business, man. That's what that is, man. So, yeah, man. So hopefully, this is edifying. Hopefully, the Most High House shall blesses y'all day. So much love to y'all brothers and sisters. So, peace.